Hi, welcome back to 1/6 RC Tank Workshop. In the last video I was working on building the lower hull. We got it up to this stage. In this video I want to have a look at this hatch with regard to making it a little bit larger. Here you can see in Panzer Tracts they've got really nice 1/10 scale drawings of the hatches. This would be the left hand hatch and this is the right hand hatch. They're not actually the same size. So I'll scale these up and cut the new hatches. This is the location of the hatches. So this is the one that needs to be enlarged. This is a 1/35 scale drawing from Panzer Tracts. Here you can see the piece that I'll have to remove. I've modified the hatch on the driver's side. It's not a crew hatch, it's an access hatch. Rather than using the very basic way supplied with the kit to stop the hatches from sinking, I've made an internal frame. And here's the same for the opposite side. And this will support the hatch. I'm using the kit hatch for this side. And I've made a new hatch in aluminium for this side. The Jensen Doyle book Panzer Tracts has 1/10 scale drawings of both hatches, and they've got these bolt holes on the outside which are obviously securing the bracket to the inner side of the hull. I didn't see these on the Panzer III in Bovington, but on careful examination of some of the photographs I took, I can just about see some of them. So I have the screw holes located here, so let's finish up fitting this hatch as well. And here we have the hatches fitted. There's a few holes around from the old hinges which are in the wrong position, and also the hinges were the wrong size, so I need to make new hinges, and a few holes around that need to be filled in. I'll use milliput to fill the holes. So let's get this deck screwed back into place. I've taken the top rear bracket off just to do some work on it. Again, the rear has quite a few cone head bolts, but they're just decorative. So again, these are just dummy cone heads that I've made in brass. It's two different sizes. Let's make a cone head bolt. So here we have a cone head. I'll tap that for M2.5 and put a screw on it. Lots more to make though. Now let's make a dummy cone head. And here we have a dummy cone head. Here you can see the collection of dummy cone heads, and also these ones have been mounted onto M2.5 screws. Here we have my new escape hatches. This is the original part without any work done to it. I've taken all the machining marks off. I put a slight angle around the side. I've also made some dummy cone head bolts. The 5 bolts on the hatch don't really have any function, they're just decorative. The others will be threaded for M3 screws. And now we'll screw this escape hatch into place. That's it. These cone heads here would have held a latch mechanism to keep the door closed from inside. I'm not going to bother fitting anything at the moment. I may come back to it at a later stage, or may use magnets. Here's the first escape hatch in place. And here's the second. Next we have these air ducts for the braking system. We'll fit these on as well. I've made some small recesses on the corners to fit cone head bolts. And here you can see the cone head bolts. They have an M2.5 thread. Here are the intakes. I've reprofiled them slightly. I've evened it up along the bottom, taking this part off. And I've also used the Dremel tool to score a mark where the welds are going to be. This will give the milliput welds a better chance to adhere. And now that's these air intakes fitted with cone heads. And here's the cooling ducts in place. They're etch primed. Next thing to do will be to make some fake milliput welds. So I've completed the welds around the intakes. I've also started plugging some of the excess holes. Same on side of the hull. I've plugged up a lot of the screw holes. So they're fairly rough at the moment, but I'll file them down. Here we have some plastic card, 2mm high letters and numerals. We're going to do some cast numbers on the return rollers. The factory numbers I can see appear to be B, Y, or not too sure at the moment what factory that signifies, but we'll cut the letters out. Oh, that one disappeared. So here you can see my first tiny letters. These ones are very delicate. I'm attaching the lettering with some super glue. Next line of numbers appears to be 82-27. These size numbers are very fiddly to work with, so you have to give yourself a bit of time. The next row of numbers appears to be 39007-1. So here we have our first piece of cast numbers on this model. It's not easy to see them on the model, but when you do see them, it makes the model pop a bit. I've refitted the return rollers. The numbers aren't very visible, but if you may as well add it in all known areas. It's a little bit of extra interest. It's also a detail that I like to research while I'm visiting museums. Hi, thanks for watching. That's all for this episode on the Panzer III. I was hoping I'd get the top bracket along here done, but it hasn't arrived yet, and it's going to be a while before I do another video. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and see you again soon for more.